Osiris found. Claudius Ptolemaeus, born 100 AD, died 170 AD, known as Ptolemy, was an astronomer, mathematician, and geographer of Greek descent who lived and worked in the Egyptian city of Alexandria. In his geography, Ptolemy gathered all the geographic knowledge possessed by the Greco-Roman world. He used a system of grid lines to plot the latitude and longitude of some 8,000 places on a map that encompassed the known world at the height of the Roman Empire. This here is a 1478 map copied from Claudius Ptolemy's 2nd century map. This is the Northwest Africa region. And this is Claudius Ptolemy's book, Geography and Coordinates. At the outset, when writing of the journey from Gerama to Ethiopia, he says that Septimus Flaccus, having set out from Libya with his army, came to the land of the Ethiopians from the land of the Garamantes in the space of 3 months by journeying continuously southward. He says furthermore that Julius Maternus, setting out from Leptis Magna and Gerama with the king of Garamantes, who was beginning an expedition against the Ethiopians, by bearing continuously southward, came within 4 months to Agisimba, the country of the Ethiopians where the rhinoceros is to be found. Each of these statements on the face of it is incredible. First, because the Ethiopians are not so far distant from the Garamantes as to require a 3 months journey, seeing that the Garamantes themselves, for the most part, are Ethiopians and have the same king. And as you can see, the Garamantians settled and lived in North Africa, which would today be the Libyan area. Mauritania Caesariensis is terminated on the west by the east side of Mauritania, Tingitana, as we have said above, and on the north by the Sordom Sea from the mouth of the Malva River to the mouth of the Ampsaga River, of which the following is a description after the mouth of the Malva River. And these are coordinates to different places. You can see Siga City, Colonia, Gibsaria Harbor, Magnum Promontory. And here is the Siga City in North Africa that was just shown in the previous slide. Let's continue. And here are coordinates to a few different places. As you can see, the mouth of the Osiris River and its coordinates. You see a place called Portus Magnus. And let's continue. And here is North Africa again. We can see Portus Magnus as well as Siga City. And as far as these coordinates show, the mouth of the Osiris River should be somewhere in this area. But Osiris, it says it is bounded on the east by Africa along the Ampsagas River. So we should be looking for the Ampsagas River. Let's see if we can find it. Where is Osiris? It's not in between Portus Magnus or Siga City, but its coordinates say it should be in this area. So maybe these coordinates are wrong. Maybe somebody switched the maps. Let's see. Bam. To your right center, the Ampsaga River. And if you look up and left, you can see Osiris. North Africa, Northwest Africa, the Algerian region, Algeria on the coast, the city of Osiris. another map that has located Osiris as well by Martin Waldseemüller. 1507 world map was the first map to depict a separate Western Hemisphere with the Pacific as a separate ocean. The map grew out of an ambitious project in Saint-Dié-Lorraine in present-day France during the early 1500s to document and update new geographic knowledge derived from the Portuguese and Spanish explorations of the late 15th and early 16th centuries. Waldseemüller's map was the most exciting product of that research effort. And as you can see, once again, Osiris is detailed and located in the same spot as Ptolemy's map. And it's circled there in red. So that's 2 receipts we got. And here's a modern day map showing you where the ancient region or city of Osiris would be located. But this whole region here, Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Mali, Niger, this is all Osiris, this whole region. Second Esdras 1340. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Now Salmanasar was the king of Assyria, and he was the second one after Tiglath-Pileser to deport Israelites into Assyrian territories. So the campaign started between 3 different Assyrian kings, first with Tiglath-Pileser III, then Shalmaneser, then Sargon II. All 3 of them deported the Sumerians, Northern Kingdom Israelites, over about a 30-year time frame. Second Kings 17:22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until Yahuwah removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria until this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kuta, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Now, if you continue to read through, you'll see that these Babylonians and these Assyrians that came into Israel and occupied the territories that were living there, the land was killing them alive. The Most High was sending animals, lions, to kill them because they knew not the manner of the Elohim of that land. So they had to ask for Levite priests to come and teach them how to live in that land. And these same men, these strangers, were still serving their gods along with doing some of the commandments of the Most High, just to try to keep the Most High off of them. Let's continue. Second Esdras 13:41 through 45. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Osiris. Now this is a group of Israelites that chose to leave from amongst the heathen, and they migrated down into West Africa, Northwest Africa. Not all of them came this way, because we'll see later on the other Israelites were scattered and went in opposite direction to the east. Let's continue. Sargon II wasted no time in finishing the job that Shalmaneser started. At the end of 722 BC, after a 3-year siege, Samaria fell. According to the annals of Sargon II, he deported 27,290 Israelites over to the territories of Persia, which you can read in 2 Kings 17:6, and placed other people from around his empire into the area of Samaria to populate the area. An inscription of his was found, and on that inscription it reads, "At the beginning of my royal rule, I, the town of the Samarians, I besieged, conquered." 2 lines were destroyed from this area of the inscription. "For the God who let me achieve this my triumph, I led away as prisoners 27,290 inhabitants of it, and equipped from among them soldiers to man 50 chariots for my royal corpse. The town I rebuilt better than it was before, and settled therein people from countries which I had conquered. I placed an officer of mine as governor over them, and imposed upon them tribute as is customary for Syrian citizens." The Nimrod Prism 4. Second Ezra 13:46-47. "Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace." Now these are the northern 10 tribes, and may as well be the tribe of Yehuda, who are still on the other side of the Euphrates, that Sargon took over there, and were dispersed into the further eastern territories, like Afghanistan, Persia, India, and all in these areas. The Most High is going to dry up the Euphrates again, and they're going to pass back over and enter into the land of Israel. So the conclusion is, America is not Osiris, and American Indians are not Israelites.